Have you ever been in a conversation maybe with someone new or someone from a totally different background and a really common English phrase just lands
Hmm.
weirdly? Like, you know the words, obviously, but the real meaning, the feel of it seems just out of reach.
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time. So, like, you understand the separate notes, but the melody, the actual tune of the expression, isn't quite clicking.
Yeah, exactly that. The melody.
And that's because everyday language, even the stuff that seems super simple on the surface, well, it often has these deep layers, right? Full of cultural context, implied meanings.
More than just the dictionary definition.
Way more. It's about picking up on those unspoken signals, the sort of subtle cues that make communication, really work.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. This isn't just about defining phrases. We want to really get them, understand the context, how they're used in different situations, the kind of subtle power they carry.
Think of them as linguistic tools, maybe, or shortcuts. Master them, and you don't just sound more natural.
You feel more connected, right? Like you're really plugged into the conversation.
Precisely. So our mission today is to give you the tools, yes, but also the confidence. Confidence to use these phrases well in all sorts of situations.
Making your interactions clearer, more precise, more impactful.
Exactly. It's about sharpening that communicative edge.
Okay, let's unpack this. Where should we start? How about with those times when, well, people just don't agree?
A perfect starting point. Let's look at the phrase don't see eye to eye.
Don't see eye to eye. It really paints a picture, doesn't it?
It does, very visual, like two people looking right at each other, but somehow their focus is just different horizons, as you said earlier.
But what does it actually mean at its core?
Fundamentally, it's an idiom for disagreement. Simple as that. Having different opinions, holding different views on something. It signifies that lack of alignment and perspective. You're looking at the same facts, maybe, but interpreting them differently. Your vantage point is just not the same.
Okay, so disagreement. But it feels softer than just saying we disagree or we argue. Is that right? Does it imply less conflict?
That's a really crucial point, and yes,
Yeah.
you're spot on. One of the great things about this phrase is that it usually implies a respectful disagreement. It's not about a shouting match or a big confrontation. You can absolutely not see eye to eye with someone, a colleague, a friend, family, and still have a perfectly good, even strong relationship.
So it's a way to acknowledge the difference without making it hostile.
Exactly. It's polite. It acknowledges different viewpoints exist without necessarily escalating things.
Mhm.
In many cultures, especially ones that value, harmony and avoiding directness, this phrase is invaluable, a real social lubricant.
That makes sense. It preserves a bit of space, maybe, especially at work, like psychological safety.
You've nailed it. It's not just politeness for its own sake. It's about maintaining that psychological safety. Using don't see eye to eye sends a signal. Okay, we differ here, but I still respect you, and we still share the same overall goal. This keeps the door open for dialogue, for finding compromises, for innovation, really. Direct confrontation can sometimes shut people down, right? Make them afraid to speak up.
Yeah, definitely.
But this phrase allows different perspectives to be aired without that immediate feeling of threat.
And it seems like it can apply to small things just as easily as big things.
Oh, totally versatile. It covers a huge spectrum. It'd be minor preferences like my partner and I don't see eye to eye on movie choices. Maybe one loves sci-fi, the other loves rom-coms. No big deal. Or it can be much more significant. Think political views, major business strategy decisions, fundamental ethical stances. Marketing and sales teams don't always see eye to eye on budget allocation. That's a common one.
Right. So anything from movie night to budget fights.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wherever perspectives genuinely diverge.
And that visual metaphor just keeps coming back to me. Looking at the same thing, different angles, different conclusions.
It's a great way to think about it. It frames the difference without assigning blame or suggesting someone's wrong. That's key to why it feels respectful.
Let's make it concrete. How does this play out in, say, an office environment?
Okay, professional context. It's super useful for navigating different ideas without being aggressive. A team leader might say, look, Sarah and I don't quite see eye to eye on the best way to structure this report, but we're working together to find an approach that incorporates both our priorities.
So it acknowledges the difference, but emphasizes collaboration.
Precisely. Or in a meeting. I understand your point, John, but I think the data suggests a different path. It seems we don't see eye to eye on the interpretation here. It's professional, mature, it signals a difference in methodology or analysis, without implying incompetence or disrespect.
That seems really valuable for keeping teams working together smoothly, even when they disagree on specifics.
Absolutely. It maintains that foundation of respect.
What about outside work? Friends? Family?
Just as useful, maybe even more so. Think about everyday life stuff. You could easily say, my best friend and I don't see eye to eye on parenting styles at all, but we respect each other's choices.
Or the classic decorating dilemma.
Exactly. My sister and I definitely don't see eye to eye on home decor. Choosing paint colors is an adventure. It's lighthearted, acknowledges different tastes, different personalities, without turning it into a major issue.
Okay, I feel like everyone has something they don't see eye to eye on with family members.
Oh, guaranteed. Dishwasher loading techniques, maybe. Holiday destinations. It covers all those little differences in approach without causing unnecessary friction.
But it scales up too, right? It's not just personal stuff.
Definitely. It applies to larger groups, organizations, even whole societies. You often hear it in news reports or political analysis. For instance, the two neighboring countries don't see eye to eye on border definitions, leading to ongoing diplomatic tensions. Or environmental groups and industry representatives rarely see eye to eye on resource management policies.
So it works for describing these bigger ideological divides or policy disagreements?
Yes, it succinctly captures those fundamental differences in philosophy or approach between larger entities. Very versatile.
So why is this phrase so, well, effective in English?
I think it's that blend of being idiomatic, it sounds natural, polite, and expressing disagreement without being overly direct or confrontational. Understanding it really helps you navigate social situations, especially in cultures like many English-speaking ones, where saving face or avoiding direct conflict is often preferred.
So it's a bit of a social skill, knowing when to use this versus just saying, I disagree.
That's a great way to put it. There's a time and place for directness, of course, but knowing when to deploy don't see eye to eye is a mark of social intelligence, maybe.
Are there times when you shouldn't use it, like pitfalls?
Good question. The main pitfall is using it to completely avoid a necessary direct conversation. If something serious is wrong, like an ethical breach or a decision has huge negative consequences, we don't see eye to eye. Might be too weak, too evasive. Sometimes you need to say, no, I strongly disagree, and here's why.
So don't use it to just sweep major problems under the rug.
Exactly. And a good tip, pair it with something positive. We don't see eye to eye on the timeline, but I really value your input, and I know we both want this project to succeed. It softens the disagreement while reaffirming the relationship or shared goal.
Okay, that makes sense. Acknowledge the difference, but reinforce the connection.
That's the sweet spot.
All right, so from navigating different perspectives, let's shift gears to, well, buying stuff, commerce. There are two little phrases here that sound so similar but mean totally different things. On sale versus for sale.
Oh, these are classics. A perfect example of how one tiny preposition can completely change the meaning, especially when money's involved. People mix them up constantly.
Yeah, I can see how. Let's break it down. Start with on sale. What's the deal there?
On sale specifically means an item is available at a reduced price, a discount,
Yeah.
a special offer. The key here is that implication of a temporary price cut, usually designed to make you want to buy it right now. It's a promotion.
Ah, okay. So on sale, cheaper than usual. It's the bargain hunter's favorite phrase.
Exactly. It taps right into that consumer psychology, doesn't it? The thrill of getting a deal. It's linked to marketing strategies, sales events, clearances. Think Black Friday, end-of-season discounts, buy one, get one free. Those are all variations of things being on sale. There's an incentive.
Right, an incentive. And usually it's temporary, won't last forever.
Right.
Creates that urgency.
Yeah, precisely. It leverages scarcity, fear of missing out. It's designed to trigger a more immediate, maybe even slightly emotional buying decision. Move that inventory.
Okay, clear. Now what about for sale? How is that different?
For sale is much simpler. It just means the item is available to be bought, period. There's no necessary implication of a discount or special price. It just means the owner is willing to sell it, that it's on the market.
So if I see a for sale sign on a car, it just means I can buy it, not that it's cheap.
Exactly. It could be full price, it could be negotiable, but the phrase itself doesn't promise a discount. It's just signaling availability. Think about a house with a sign in the yard. It's for sale, it's available for purchase.
Yeah.
Or someone selling their old bike online, it's for sale.
It connects to the basic idea of commerce, right? Making something available for someone else to buy.
That's it. The fundamental act of offering goods or services for transaction. It's neutral about price. It just indicates market availability. It invites a more considered evaluation. not necessarily that impulse buy triggered by on sale.
Let's solidify this with more examples. On sale, besides Black Friday.
Okay, think about a supermarket flyer. This week, coffee is on sale for $5 a bag. That's a temporary reduction. Or browsing online. Wow, these headphones I wanted are finally on sale, 30% off. Again, specific discount, probably time limited. Any kind of special offer or clearance event falls under on sale.
Got it. The price is lower than normal, and it's probably not permanent. Incentive is key.
Incentive and often temporariness, yes. Now, for sale. We mentioned houses and used items.
Right, like a painting in an art gallery. It's for sale, but probably not on sale unless there's a special event.
Perfect example. Or tickets to a concert. Tickets for the tour are now for sale. It just means they're available to be purchased. Doesn't mean they're discounted. Could be antiques, collectibles, even services sometimes. Consulting packages are for sale.
Yeah.
It just means they're offered.
So availability for purchase at whatever the price is. No implied markdown.
You've got it. Transactional availability.
This feels like a really important distinction in everyday life. Getting this wrong could lead to awkwardness or disappointment.
Oh, absolutely. For buyers, expecting a discount when something is just for sale can lead to frustration. But I thought it was on sale. No, it's just for sale.
Huh.
Equally, missing something that is genuinely on sale means missing a saving.
And for sellers,
For sellers, clarity is crucial. Advertising something as on sale when it's just regularly priced is misleading. Using the right term sets the correct expectations. Avoids confusion, maybe even disputes.
so it really shapes how we approach the transaction. On sale makes us think quick, deal.
Yeah.
While for sale is more like, okay, available, let me consider this.
Exactly. It impacts behavior. One triggers urgency and potential impulse. The other indicates market entry and invites evaluation.
It's fascinating, really, how just switching on and for changes the whole economic signal and how we perceive it.
It really highlights the precision needed in language, especially commercial language. That tiny word dictates whether it's a standard offer or an incentivized one. Understanding this makes you a more savvy consumer and a clearer communicator if you're selling.
Okay, so from the act of buying, let's dig deeper into the items themselves. First, understanding what they're actually made of. The phrase, what's something made of?
A very fundamental question, isn't it? Directly asking about the materials, the ingredients, the composition of something. It's crucial for understanding quality, how something was made, its origins, sometimes even its safety. Applies to physical objects, food, you name it.
So literally the stuff inside.
Primarily, yes.
Yeah.
But like many phrases, it can stretch a bit. Figuratively, you might ask, what's this plan really made of? Meaning, what are its core components, its hidden assumptions, its true purpose? Is it solid?
Ah, okay. Looking under the surface of an idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But mostly we use it literally. And it connects strongly to modern concerns, doesn't it? Like transparency, sustainability, ethical sourcing.
Yeah, people want to know now more than ever. Is it organic? Is it recycled material? Who made it?
Precisely. Asking what's it made of is often the first step in that investigation, driven by health concerns, environmental awareness, ethical considerations.
Let's think about everyday objects. When would you ask this?
All the time. Buying clothes. This sweater feels amazing. What's it made of? Cashmere blend. Or just acrylic. The answer tells you about warmth, care instructions, price justification.
Furniture shopping too, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Before I buy this table, I need to know what's it made of. Is it solid oak or is it veneer on particle board? Huge difference in durability, quality, and cost. It's relevant anytime you're checking labels, food, cosmetics, cleaning supplies. Understanding the composition helps you judge quality, durability, potential allergens, environmental impact. Make informed choices.
It really empowers you as a consumer, doesn't it? To look past the shiny surface.
It's the foundation of making informed choices in a world full of complex products.
And for food and health, it's even more critical.
Absolutely vital. On the enjoyable side, you taste something amazing. Wow, this dessert is incredible. Was it made of? I need the recipe. It's about appreciation and curiosity. But on the health side, it's often about safety. My child has allergies. I have to know exactly what this packaged snack is made of before I buy it. Or checking supplements. What's this vitamin pill made of? Any fillers I should worry about?
Yeah. Crucial for dietary needs, allergies, health goals. Making sure what you consume is safe and beneficial for you.
So asking what's it made of isn't just casual curiosity. It's often a deep dive into understanding intrinsic properties, true value, potential risks, or benefits.
Peeling back the layers.
Exactly. It links to quality control, manufacturing transparency, the consumer's right to know. Understanding the composition helps us grasp the essence of a thing. its strengths, weaknesses, how it will perform, maybe even its authenticity.
That's a great point. It helps you assess if it's the real deal.
And thinking critically, asking this about an argument or an idea forces you to examine its core components, its foundations, to see if it holds up.
Okay, so understanding the composition is one thing. What about its value? That brings us neatly to its worth.
Yes, it's worth. A fantastic phrase because it expresses value, merit, or benefit. But crucially, that value isn't always about money. It can be about effort, time, experience. It's incredibly flexible.
So not just the price tag.
Definitely not just the price tag. Monetary value is one part, sure. That antique painting is worth a lot of money. We understand that. But we also use it constantly for effort or time. Like, wow, that view is incredible. It was totally worth the difficult climb. The effort was high, but the reward, the view, made it worthwhile.
Or waiting in a long queue.
Right. It's worth waiting in line for those concert tickets. The band is amazing live. The time spent waiting is justified by the quality of the experience.
And there's that emotional or experiential value too, like recommending something.
Absolutely. You should try that new cafe. The coffee alone is worth the trip. The value is the positive experience, the great coffee. Or think about personal growth. Learning to code was tough, really challenging, but it was absolutely worth it for the career opportunities it opened up. The value is intangible skills, opportunities, maybe satisfaction.
It's a very personal assessment sometimes.
It often is, and we use it negatively too, right? Trying to fix that old computer again. Honestly, it's probably not worth the trouble, meaning the effort or cost outweighs any potential benefit, or that investment seems too risky. It's not worth the potential losses.
Okay, let's try some scenarios. Financial decisions. How does its worth fit?
It's central to weighing risk and reward. An investor looking at a company might ask, is this acquisition worth the asking price, considering their market share and growth potential? It prompts a detailed analysis.
Or assessing an asset you own.
Exactly. Based on recent sales, I think my vintage car is worth more than I initially thought. It's about valuation, market analysis, used constantly in real estate, stock market, any kind of financial assessment.
So it's like a quick way to frame a cost-benefit question in finance.
Precisely. Now, what about personal choices? Things that aren't about money.
Yeah, how does it work there?
It helps us articulate our priorities and justify our efforts based on what we value personally. You might say, it's worth getting up early to go for a run because I feel so much better all day. The benefit, feeling good, justifies the effort, getting up early.
Or looking back at a challenge.
Yes. That course was incredibly demanding, but the knowledge I gained was definitely worth it. The value is the knowledge or skill acquired, which justifies the difficulty. It helps us evaluate sacrifices, make trade-offs between time, comfort, and long-term goals.
It clarifies what matters to us, and I hear it all the time in recommendations.
Oh yeah, it's perfect for that. Giving advice, sharing positive experiences, that new sci-fi novel everyone's talking about, definitely worth reading. You're endorsing it based on your enjoyment.
Or travel advice.
If you're in Paris, it's really worth visiting the Musée Rodin Garden. It's beautiful and peaceful. You're signaling a valuable, enriching experience for someone else. It's a strong personal recommendation.
So basically, its worth is like our everyday shorthand for a cost-benefit analysis.
That's a perfect summary.
Yeah.
It distills a potentially complex evaluation, weighing costs, money, time, effort, risk, against benefits, money, pleasure, knowledge, experience, into a simple, direct statement.
Makes communication efficient.
Very efficient and very flexible. And it does raise that interesting question, doesn't it? How do we decide what's worth it? Is it purely objective calculation, or is it deeply tied to our personal values, emotions, goals?
Yeah. How do we assign value beyond the price? And how does language help us share that subjective assessment?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Okay, from evaluating value, let's move to our last phrase, which feels very relevant today. Plug in.
Plug in.
Yeah.
A great example of a phrase with a very clear, literal meaning, and then there's a powerful figurative meaning that's become so common, shows how language adapts.
Let's start literal. Pretty straightforward, right? We all do it every day.
Extremely straightforward. Literally, it means connecting an electrical device to a power source, like an outlet, or to another device, maybe with a USB cable. Could you plug in the lamp, please? Or make sure you plug in the printer cables securely. Simple physical connection to make something work or charge.
Right. Got to plug in the phone, the laptop, the TV. Essential for modern life. Making that physical connection for power or data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enabling function.
Yeah.
Making something active in an electrical or electronic system.
Okay, literal meaning, check. Now, the figurative one, this is where it gets more nuanced. How does that work?
The figurative sense means becoming involved, connected, or integrated. Not with a power cord, but into a system, a group, a network, a conversation, a source of information. It implies actively engaging, becoming part of something larger.
So it takes that physical act of connecting and applies it to social or intellectual connection.
Precisely. It shows language evolving. We take a concrete action and use it as a metaphor for something more abstract. It's about drawing energy, information, or belonging from a wider source.
And it feels active, right? Not passive. You have to do the plugging in.
That's key. It implies deliberate action, engagement, participation. You're not just observing, you're connecting yourself to it.
Let's get some examples. Literal first, beyond just charging phones.
Okay, literal uses.
Yeah.
Setting up for a presentation, let me just plug in my laptop to the projector. Or in a music studio, we need to plug in the amplifier before we can test the guitar. Any situation requiring a physical, electrical, or data connection, making equipment functional.
Simple, practical, essential. Now, figuratively, how do you plug in socially?
Figuratively, you might advise someone new to an organization. The best way to understand the culture here is to plug into the informal coffee chats and team lunches, meaning get involved, participate, connect with people.
Or joining a new community.
Yeah. When I moved here, I decided to plug into the local hiking club to meet people with similar interests. Actively joining and participating.
What about plugging into information?
Very common use. To keep up with industry trends, you really have to plug into the right newsletters and podcasts, meaning actively seek out and consume relevant information sources, stay informed.
Or plugging into a system, like at work.
Yes, we need the new intern to plug into our project management software so they can track their tasks, meaning integrate them into the system, teach them how to use it, make them part of the workflow, or technically, the developers need to plug this new API into the existing code base, integrating one system with another.
So it covers community, knowledge, systems, always with that sense of active connection and integration.
Exactly. Purposeful engagement.
If we think about this phrase more deeply, its evolution seems really tied to technology, but also maybe a deeper human need.
That's a fascinating angle. What's really interesting is how that basic physical act became such a potent metaphor. It clearly evolved alongside our increasing reliance on connected technologies. But it also speaks to how we describe social and intellectual integration now. It tells us how language adapts, borrowing from the tangible to describe the intangible aspects of our interconnected lives.
So plugging in isn't just about electricity anymore. It's about belonging, accessing knowledge, participating.
Yes, it implies becoming part of something bigger, drawing from it, whether it's energy, data, information, or social connection, and potentially contributing back. It taps into that fundamental human drive to connect, to be involved, which is maybe amplified in our digital age.
That makes so much sense. Especially today, we're constantly plugging in online to networks, news feeds, communities, often without a physical cord, but always with that aim to connect.
Precisely. It captures that essence of active integration into the constant flow of information and social interaction that defines so much of modern life.
Any tips for using plug-in, figuratively, or common mistakes?
A good tip is to be clear what you're plugging into. Plug into the network, plug into the discussion, plug into the community. Specificity helps. A potential pitfall is maybe using it too vaguely or confusing passive consumption like mindlessly scrolling social media with genuine active plugging in, which usually implies more focused engagement or contribution. There's a difference.
Right. Active versus passive connection. A good distinction. Well, this has been a fascinating journey through these phrases, connecting all the dots.
It really has. We went from don't see eye to eye for navigating disagreements respectfully.
Keeping that psychological safety.
Exactly. To the crucial difference between on sale and for sale in the world of commerce.
Understanding those behavioral triggers.
Then digging into what's something made of, linking it to transparency and informed choices.
And assessing value in all its forms, money, time, effort, with its worth.
Highlighting how we make those personal cost-benefit calls.
And finally, exploring literal and figurative connection with plug-in. That idea of active engagement.
Each one, seemingly simple, unlocks a deeper layer of understanding communication.
Absolutely. And getting comfortable with them, really understanding the nuance, it genuinely boosts your clarity, your precision, your confidence when speaking English. It's not just about knowing the words, it's about grasping the context, the intent behind them. Hopefully this deep dive helps you navigate conversations with, well, more insight and ease.
It's about moving beyond just fluency to real communicative competence.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. As you go about your day, start listening out for these phrases. How are people using them?
How might you consciously plug into these expressions yourself? Notice how they subtly shape understanding and connection.
Maybe pick one phrase we talked about today. Actively listen for it. Or perhaps try using it yourself in your next conversation. See how it feels, how it works for you. What's that phrase going to be?